I want to say thank you so much for all the support from all my subscribers and all the people that gave me a thumbs up on that last video. Think about subscribing. If you gave that video a thumbs up, oh, you definitely gonna give this one a thumbs up, because I'm about to show some straight history lessons to people. Think about subscribing. Like I said, give me a thumbs up. Let's help the YouTube algorithm. Before we do, let's get into the video. But I got to say one thing. Black people today are doing exactly what the Africans did back in the day. They're selling black folks into slavery. History does not repeat itself. The dumbass humans do that make history repeat itself.
But from a practical point of view, it isn't the way. Therefore, as I look out in the cities and I look on television and see hundreds and hundreds of our black brothers and sisters standing in a bread line, I say to myself that a riot does more harm to the Negro than it does to anybody else. What sense does it make to be talking about Get Whitey and down in Huff in Cleveland burning it down? Whitey ain't in Huff. Negroes end up burning their own communities down, and then when you look at the casualty list, who is it that gets killed? The vast majority are Negroes. And so I'm not gonna give you a motto, preach a philosophy, burn, baby, burn. I'm going to say, build, baby, build. Organize, baby, organize.
Now, are we making Dr. King proud? Are we living up to his legacy by burning down our own neighborhoods? Now, I don't live in that neighborhood. I don't live in the hood. I always said that. I live in the suburbs. I go to the hood every now and then for a fish sandwich, and I keep it pushing. You see, when you burn down your own neighborhoods, what you do is you have to travel further. Your parents got to travel further. And the older folks who no longer can drive, who take public transportation, they now have to pretty much ruin their whole day to go grocery shopping because a bunch of little knuckleheads decided to burn down the block. Chances are those are the same knuckleheads that hop in my comment section. Remember I said that today's black people are the same way that Africans were back in the day? You see, you don't know where you're going unless you know where we've been. In history, to have trade, you need to have multiple sides, right? Let's just say there's Apple. They make the iPhone. You need to have a customer to buy the iPhone. So say Apple makes the iPhone, they have a customer. Guess what? The customer now needs to go on a cell phone company to get some service. So now you got to go to a cell phone service. You see, Africa actually had wealthy back then too. And just like any other continent and any other time, the people of that continent that are wealthy will always enslave the people with less wealth. The Africans participated in slavery with the Spaniards in other countries. You mean to tell me, for all the hood rats that are watching this, that are watching this episode, not my subscribers, you guys are smart, all the hood rats, say somebody comes to your block 2-3 cars deep, you're gonna get the drop on them, right? They may come there and surprise you, but you know the terrain, you know the area, right? You mean to tell me the Spaniards just rolled up to Africa and knew where to go, where they knew the terrain, they knew how to navigate the Nile River with dangerous crocodiles and dangerous animals, and they knew the valleys, and they knew where to go without technology? No, there was no navigation back then. You mean to tell me they knew where to go when these people were not even used to that type of weather? Remember that. Okay, they were not used to that type of weather. No, they had help from the Africans. It's even been documented that Africans help catch and enslave other Africans. Remember I said black people today are helping enslave you? This is what I was talking about.
I've recently came up with. It's actually something that I've been teaching for years. And it's effective because it works. It's effective because it's very simple. And I thought it not robbery to share that with you all. So here it is. If you talk to anyone at my church, at any location of our churches, members, if you, even last year, all right, I'm going to just tell you my plays. I looked at Bitcoin. I looked at, or Shiba Inu. Of course, y'all know Doge to the moon. I never forgot about Doge, though. And then, of course, Ethereum. Now, they got a lot of other coins out here. Bonk is out here. avalanches out here. You know, a
Buy
lot of
now and pay later. You could use Afterpay, Klarma, or Affirm, not Sezzle or Sizzle or whatever that is, okay? So you could use Afterpay, Klarma, or Affirm if you simply want to buy now and pay later. You can do that at checkout. You can use those platforms, buy now and pay later for the class. That is some
same formula, and we're successful with securing high limit business credit cards. Here's the thing, right? You got a lot of people that's going to, counter what I'm going to say, right? The CPN game isn't necessarily dead if you build it out right. You got a lot of people that aren't building out their CPNs right. They aren't structuring them right. They're not using decoding information, so they're not properly.
That buy now, pay later, yeah, you're now a slave. So just like this comment of this moron who told on himself that pretty much said that you have white poverty too. So it debunks his whole argument that black people have it worse. If you know a homeless white man and a homeless white woman, you just made me look smart and you're stupid. This guy just told on himself that nobody's making money with your classes and your plays. If they were making money, they would not need layaway. They would have the money to purchase it in full. And even if they were going to purchase that bullshit ass class, they're purchasing something to get rich quick, meaning they are trying to indulge themselves in capitalism. Remember I said that today's blacks will help lead to poverty and in chains? What about the other videos I've made with people selling CPNs and people end up in shackles and they end up with 30-year sentences and they end up in handcuffs? You're black in slavery, right? Yeah, you're black in slavery. You are back in slavery, black in slavery. You are now owned by the judicial system. You now belong to somebody. So the people selling classes, they're selling you into poverty. And the people selling CPNs, they're selling you into being a slave. You see what happens is it makes no difference what color you are now. Capitalism makes all different color type of slaves in the form of debt. You ever heard the borrower is slave to the lender? So the more money you borrow, and this is why I say keep your expenses low, the more money you borrow, the more hours you got to put in, the more somebody else gets wealthy, and the less you do. So who's the slave when it comes to capitalism? The person who has no debt and can work when they want and can vacation when they want, can eat when they want, or the person that has to go to work every day for cars, for items, for things? Do you own those things or do they own you? Now, if you made it this far, think about subscribing, think about joining the channel. And another thing that I want to tell you, every now and then you'll get a comment from someone. What are you doing to help the black and brown communities? You're looking at me, right? For you to write that comment in the comment section, that means you're commenting on my video, right? So in long story short, what the hell are you doing to help the black, brown, and the black and brown community? That shit makes me chuckle. When I click on your channel or your avatar, you have a sneaker collection. Surprise, surprise. You're showing your car and your rims. Surprise, surprise. You're showing people how to roll a fat blunt. Surprise, surprise. You're showing people some chicks as you pop bottles. Surprise, surprise. Just like everybody else I just showed, you just told on yourself. No regrets. Get it.